Damn, I wish something eventful would happen just about now.
Hey kid. Want some things?
Why, yes. Yes, I would.
Bob,
Oh, hey, Boxman.
make me a video about SMG4. Thanks.
Will I get my memes afterwards?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
Huh?
Hey all, Null here. So over the past 2 years, I feel like the SMG4 series has been left with some story loose ends that so far haven't been tied up, which has particularly bugged me because a lot of these stories could be really interesting if expanded upon. So I thought I'd cover all the notable ones here. I am expecting some of these to eventually be tied up, but I do feel that even if they are, it's taken a bit longer than it should have done to do so.
Firstly, Meggy's future career as a sports coach. So this is the loose end that I found to be the most weird one to have been unresolved. Meggy is one of the most important SMG4 characters, and the end of the Revelations movie established that Meggy still hadn't graduated from Omnia Academy. Yet a desire to coach hasn't even been referenced, let alone advanced since the end of the Revelations arc. What's even stranger is that her wanting to become a sports coach was the conclusion to her character arc over Sunset Paradise, which was about her trying to learn more about herself so that she knew what she wanted to do in life after completing her promise to Desti. So it's been very strange how this hasn't been brought up again at all. I'm not expecting this to be forgotten, however, and what I think may happen eventually is that as she hasn't graduated from Omnia Academy yet, we may get an episode where she graduates from Omnia before entering her new occupation. Then she may get a new sports coach outfit, like she did during Officer Meggy, which seemed to have been their original plan for her before dropping that for her character with no explanation and for no good reason and never bringing it up again. I imagine we may get a mini arc centered on her like we did for Seiko and Keizo, in which Meggy coaches a sports team, probably for Splatoon Turf Wars. If this is the route they go down, perhaps we could even see One-Shot Ren make an appearance again, which is another loose end in my opinion. I'm sure that as Meggy's inspiration, an episode about him would be really interesting to see. Perhaps he could impart some wisdom onto her which helps her train her team and bring them to victory. At least with the lawsuit arc, we're seeing them re-explore her stint as a lawyer, which is cool to see that they haven't forgotten that about her character.
Secondly, the status of WHISK has been left unresolved. At the end of Sunset Paradise, we see WHISK retrieve her mask before leaving, which I take to mean that she may have left Port Aurora, and since then we have never seen her again or even had her mentioned. I think this may have been because they were holding off bringing her to the SMG4 series or anything like that, as they may have been looking to bring her back for a season 2 of Sunset Paradise, which they had left room for with Meggy telling Ori that she will come back to the island eventually. However, I don't think we'll be getting season 2 for 2 reasons. The first being that we haven't heard anything about the show since it ended, and secondly, the biggest piece of evidence in my eyes is the fact that Aziz has been brought over to the SMG4 series, which would seem like a weird thing to do if we were getting a season 2, unless perhaps he would be playing a role in setting up season 2, though I doubt this. Therefore, I think we may see WHISK join the SMG4 series along with Aziz, which I really hope so, as I like her character. So it will be fun to see her interact with the SMG4 cast and Meggy again. I also would want to see what her design is like. Unlike Aziz, I think they will SMG4 EV her design so that it fits alongside Meggy's SMG4 design. Also, as SMG4 said his favorite character from the show was WHISK, I'd be surprised if we never saw her again. And some people seem to believe that she may be one of Karen's 1000 children. And as we do see her talk to her mom in the show, I do think this could be an interesting possibility and a good way to develop Karen's character a bit.
Thirdly, MELONY learning to become a manga artist. I covered this before in a previous video, so go watch that if you'd like to know what I think might happen with this character arc if it were to be expanded upon. But since the video and the Revelations arc, Melanie practicing her drawing skills has only been mentioned once, and I think now that it has likely been dropped for good. Even though a story where she tries to reclaim the title of world's best manga/anime artist for Exol would have been very interesting, and her continuing to practice drawing was where I thought they'd take her character after Revelations, especially as it seemed to be her new goal. Melanie in general has been used little since the Revelations arc, but the same goes with Seiko and Keizo since their mini arc. What I think may happen is that their appearances increase after the lawsuit arc concludes.
While on that topic, I also feel like the new side characters other than Karen have been incredibly underused so far due to SMG4 still having poor character balancing. Do you remember Ramensei from the Revelations arc? I'm pretty sure he's an original character, yet he has only appeared once since the end of Revelations. Wheeler and Depresso also haven't really made notable appearances since the episodes that debuted their names. Depresso seems to have been left becoming crazy, and we haven't seen Shroomi's relationship with his granddad explored yet. However, I do think we will get episodes addressing these two characters, especially with how the Clown Fever episode felt like it left on a small cliffhanger, and every year we usually get an episode dedicated to Shroomi and the development of his character and lore.
There are also some other minor loose ends which were probably never intended to be loose ends but feel like they're regardless. In particular, for a while after the Revelations arc it felt that they were setting up something with a rogue Morshu outside the internet graveyard. This is due to Morshu appearing in the Welcome to Mario Mart episode and attacking Boopkins, and not too long later we saw that he was responsible for the events in the Curse tapes. However, these are almost certainly just two jokes with Morshu that happen to be close together, as nothing has been done with Morshu since. Also, at the end of Do Not Enter it felt like they were setting up the Bob and Melanie duo where they try to set up Melanie's rap career, but again, this was never expanded upon like with Bob and Boopkin's creation of a new music genre, Bobkin Core, during the Seiko mini arc, which I was certain was going to be important due to it being named and the fact that Seiko performed really well with it. But these points are likely just the result of how sort of rushed that mini arc felt, with my best guess as to why they rushed being that they wanted to move on to the lawsuit arc as fast as possible while having space between the arcs, and possibly the fact that they maybe wanted to avoid the Seiko and Keizo rivalry becoming too similar to SMG4 and 3's old rivalry. I do feel like there are some comparisons that can be made between the Mario's Spicy Day and Mario Meets a Demon episodes.
Lastly, we still have some questions left over from the Revelations arc, most notably about the reason the SMGs and USBs exist in the first place, the reason why SMG0 originally had no partner SMG, and the motivations of the God Box is still rather unclear. However, since SMG4 clearly stated that the Revelations arc was the end to the cosmology lore, I doubt we will ever get these lingering questions properly answered. Also, this isn't really a loose end, but the death of the Box Club leader did possibly leave room for his return, though I doubt this will ever happen. I say he could return, because the way he died could potentially leave room for him surviving, like with Zero's supposed death in WOTFI 2021. We still know next to nothing about his character, and despite him playing a major role in the Revelations arc as the initial main antagonist, he dies very early on in the movie without achieving much within the plot of the movie. All of these reasons are why I made my fan-made sequel to the Revelations arc, the Burritos arc, in which I aim to resolve all of these mysteries left over from the cosmology lore. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to comment below about any other loose ends that I didn't bring up in this video. Also make sure to like and subscribe. Can we get our memes now?
Okay.
Hell yeah, boy!
My name is Jeff.
But seriously, when do we get to leave?
We're done. When I say we're done.
Wow, what an asshole!